coming out again today. Good to see you here. We're about to go out for Tuesday practice today, and obviously now we're in our third game week with a road game under our belt. I was very pleased with our guys, how they responded to the trip and came out and played. I thought we made the right mindset coming out and playing last week. And we know we're in for a very good test this week on the road. I think it'll be a good environment there in Central Florida. They're a talented team. And, Coach Frost, you can tell he's already put his input on the program. They've done a really good job. They're an up-tempo team playing fast. They do a lot of things offensively to give you problems on defense, and as well as on the defense side of the ball for them. I think they're playing physical at the line of scrimmage. You see they rushed for a bunch of yards last week at Michigan. And, I think on both sides of the line of scrimmage, they're doing a good job. They limited Michigan to under 100 yards rushing, I believe. So we know that we have our toughest test so far this season coming up this week. Again, it's a Tuesday practice, so we're getting our guys ready to go for that. With that, I'll open up for questions.
DJ, how familiar are you with Scott Frost from maybe years past, and what are maybe some of the hallmarks of his offensive philosophy that he likes to do?
Scott and I know each other through recruiting and stuff. Work together and anything like that. Obviously, I have great respect for him as both a player and a coach. He's a great football player and has really done a great job as a coach as well. He's working for a number of years, and so I think there's familiarity there with the offense they're running there is very similar to what he's doing right now at Central Florida. I spent 3 years in the Pac-12 when I was at Stanford. Does a really good job. They're well coached. They're up tempo, like I said. They create really good ways of running the football. They take shots down the field, play action, and everywhere he's been, they've been very productive offensively. So that's a big test for us on defense to limit that.
Just to follow up on that, is there any, in terms of being familiar with the guy's style, is there any carryover because his personnel are so much different between Oregon and Central Florida that you really can't take that into account?
Yeah, I think there's always carryover. I think that's when you're studying film, it's one of the things you're looking for. You kind of have an idea or feel for it, and just in general terms, that if you're facing a certain coordinator or a head coach or someone, it's their side of the ball. What they like to do. Everyone has certain things they hang their hat on, right? Like they're going to go to, but you're always looking to see, okay, how has that changed? Was it different based on the personnel now if they're at a new place? So in this case with Scott, yeah, it's an evaluation of both. And I think, obviously, just like we're doing here, we're a new offense, new defense, new whole system. There's traits of everything that all of us have done in our past that are showing up, but it's also geared towards our personnel a little bit too. And so, they're definitely similar to that mindset. I think what we have to do is evaluate that and figure out what we can do best.
Coach, 94 points, no turnovers. How impressed are you with Hills, your running backs, and is this obviously something you've worked on or have preached since you got here?
Yeah, the turnovers for sure has been a point of emphasis every day really in our building. Obviously, I think in order to win, you got to eliminate those things. I think you can't beat yourself. If you want to beat someone else, you got to not beat yourself first. And the stat that most directly correlates to wins and losses in football, probably at any level, I know for sure in college football, is the turnover margin. So we preached a bunch about getting it out on defense and protecting the ball on offense. And I think our offense did a great job. We're at 2 games, and really, really clean ball handling. And we've not put the ball in harm's way, and that's definitely a point of emphasis. I think Perry's done a great job with that. I think Walt's done a great job helping Perry be in good spots and understand, when to, if it's not there, tuck the ball and run or take a sack, or it's better to put the ball out in harm's way. So that's obviously the thing we got to keep going. We got to carry. We're 2 games in, so far so good. But that's a constant reminder every single day of making sure we do that. And because things just get tougher as we go, and games will get closer, and those stats will really play big as we go.
Hey, Coach, as far as the offensive line, what does Marie Shell do well, and how big a testimony is it to your line production so far? At 3, what the kids so far on the offense?
right? And Mo is, he's one of those guys that, like, you know, he does whatever you ask him. You know, he always just kind of shows up. I don't know if you could say he's our best at any certain thing, but he's good at all of it. You know, it's just one of those guys, because a testament to his work ethic, his, you know, his determination, his attitude. I mean, he really stood out to me and our staff from early on here. He's just a guy that's a worker, and, you know, again, that does whatever you ask him, and does it as hard as he possibly can. And the great part, you know, as a coach, you're always looking for guys you put on the field and say, I know what I'm going to get from this guy. You know, guys that play up and down, that's a scary scenario for a coach, because, you know, you're not quite sure what you're going to get. Well, with Mo, you know what you're going to get every time. And you know, I guess I think it's a tremendous compliment to him and what he's all about.
Regardless of what has happened here in the past, just moving into a new system, a totally new system, there should be some level of discomfort or whatever. But what is it about Walt that he's been able to make this look very seamless on the field?
Yeah, I don't know. I think really it started from back in the winter with us as a program of just you know, kind of flipping the world upside down with these guys, and really, getting them to embrace change and embrace doing things a different way, and not worrying about, like, some of it was blind faith, not worrying about, you know, well, wait and see if this works or not. We don't have time for that. If you really want to, you know, get moving in the right direction and do it in seniors, obviously your window of opportunity as a senior shrinks down. That's what becomes, I think, when I've been part of some of these transitions before as an assistant, and just paying attention to that. Well, when you get a team that buys in, you have a chance. If they don't, man, you really don't have a chance around. Like, you're struggling, and just kind of find your way and hopefully get it swung through recruiting. And so with our guys, they've done a good job of that, like I said, dating back to winter and then into spring, and then you're speaking offensively, just really as a program as a whole, of just, okay, there's a new way to do something. We give them the reason why. It's real clear, like, this is why we're doing things. We don't just do it. We tell them the whys, but then it's got to be, you know, just trust us on this, just buy in. And so I think our guys as a whole have done that. Obviously, we have, you know, a ways to go. We got a lot we got to get better at, improve on, and we know that, and we're pointing that out to them every day. But if they continue to buy in and just do what we're asking them to do, I think it gives us a chance.
Coach, they average 270 yards a game on the ground. What do they do that you know, makes them so special in that regard? And I guess what becomes more of a priority against, you know, trying to contain them on the ground this Saturday?
They have several running backs that have big play capability. They're very talented, fast players. You know, they hit several big plays against last week against Michigan. And so, I mean, that's really what it is, because they do a good job as an offense of getting the ball to guys in space. You know, they spread you out, they get you in space, and all of a sudden it's you know, in their mindset, a one-on-one tackle where their guys can make you miss and hit a big play. And from a defensive standpoint, we got to squeeze and condense that space the best we can, and make sure we're not in one-on-one situations too often when we have guys running the ball, and if someone misses a tackle, the next guy's coming in. But you know, that's what they do well, and you know, you can see it shows up on tape, and they have really good speed at the position where the guys are carrying the ball.
And Coach Derek Hayward, what has he done in the past few weeks to find his niche on offense and to be able to find a role pushing that touchdown for Friday?
Derek's been tremendous. I mean, you know, spring ball, he's been a constant, just keep improving since day one of spring. He was not where he's at on the depth chart right now when we started spring. And you know, obviously he's done really well, and he's done, you know, he's earned that spot and then done well with the snaps, and he's continued to get more and more. He's playing at a high level. I think he's doing a really good job of blocking well, helping us on the perimeter. And then, you know, just you said, I think he can be an effective guy for us in the passing game too. You know, he can run and stretch the field. He's got good ball skills, and so that position for us on offense is really critical. The more we can build and develop that, I think the more it'll help us be a versatile offense. Because that's a guy that's got to be able to swing and come in there and block for us and help us in the run game, as well as then flex out and be a legitimate receiver in the pass game for us. And so he has the ability, the skill to do that, and I think he's continuing to improve.
Jerry, the way the defense responded, especially the guys in the back after that one long run by Gardner, did that give you confidence that they sort of, you know, got it fixed quickly, and going into this game where they actually, you know, they've shown big plays, that capability on the ground, is that the point of emphasis again this week?
Yeah, it's eliminating big plays. All right, on defense is a big thing we talk about, and I think it's critical to the outcome of the game. It's hard if you make a team run it all the way down the field, and not that it can't happen, it does, but that's much harder than obviously big plays. And so the way we leverage the ball, our play entry, and especially if it comes on the back end, it shows up in the back end when it's a big play. If a guy misses a gap on the defensive line, to the naked eye, you probably even notice it, right? But in the back end, a guy enters wrong and misses a tackle or something, obviously you get the big play. And so, eliminating big plays is something we always talk about. The offense we're playing this week has created a lot of big plays, and they have the capability of doing that. So for sure, it's something we're talking about and emphasizing. And it's the fun part about this right now with our guys is everything is a learning process. Which is good. I'm enjoying it. It's like everything we go through, every experience, we're learning from, good, bad, and different. So, yeah, I think our guys have a better understanding of where we're coming from on that, but that's an ongoing thing. And learning on defense to play the next play, no matter what happened on the play before, whether it was good or bad, you have to play the next play and not let that one affect you, because that's what defense is. One mistake, one bad fit, one bad eye control, and all of a sudden it's a big play the other way and possible points.
Your schedule's set up very kind of uniquely where each of your non-conference opponents also play somebody else in the Big Ten. Do you as a staff, do you look at that at all and kind of compare, like, hey, this is how we did against them versus how the other Big Ten schools are doing against them?
Obviously, we watch the film and of all the opponents, everyone they play, and evaluate it that way. The comparisons of score and this and that, I don't know, because it's really, every week in college football is its own week. People often try and do that and predict the outcomes, which is, obviously the media does a good job every week. But you can't just base it on those things. And so every matchup's a little different, right? And some teams just naturally match up better to a certain team for whatever reason it is. And then obviously every week's a little different in terms of who's healthy, who's focused, who's this, who's that. Like the biggest part about coaching in college football, I believe, is like you get a group of 18 to 22-year-olds and get their mind focused on the task at hand. And if you can find a way to effectively do that, every week, you're going to be pretty good. And that's when you see some of the ups and downs, and that's what we talk about in our building all the time, and that's the challenge of get your mind on what's going on. When you walk in that building, get ready to go play.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
We hit terminus!